Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to see you all. If you're watching me on Facebook at Stephanie Lodge or the Hug Angels or Angelic Academy, I'm so happy to have you here. And please feel free to post in the comments any questions at any time. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. And please subscribe and get the little bell for any time that I go live on YouTube. That way it'll notify you. And again, that's at Angelic Academy. I am so excited to be here. I am Stephanie Lodge, the Hug Angel, in case you haven't figured that out. And I'm here with my beautiful friend and really fairy godmother, I call her. She's my beautiful friend, Sandra Biskind. I love her so much. Welcome, Sandra.
Oh, welcome. And I love you more.
Oh.
It is really
So
great to be here with you because we've got so many exciting things to share with everyone.
I know. And so I want to say this. Sandra and I are coming here today live so that I can share a little bit about what she's doing with an amazing event coming up this weekend, March 26th. It starts, and you can still register. There's still time to register. It's called Heal. And let's start with that, Sandra. Why don't you share a little bit about what your
Yeah.
with a little exclamation point for my dryer going. Why don't you share a little bit about Heal and what we can expect?
Well, Heal is breaking barriers, busting myths, and bringing you tomorrow's healing technology today. And by the way, when I sent that out to all of the speakers that we invited in to participate so that you could have the opportunity to learn more about full natural healing, drug and chemical free, like really, taking control as a sovereign being of our own healing and not giving that away to other people who are trying to tell us what we should or shouldn't do with our bodies, right? And everybody said, "Oh, that's what I do. That's what I do. I'm busting myths." And it really, what's going to happen is that on Saturday from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m., you're going to be able to watch these world-class leaders, including our gorgeous Stephanie Lodge, really share their wisdom and what it is that we can do and how we can participate in really negating all of the things that make us sick. The thought processes, the unconscious mind, the breathing in, the chemtrails, the everything, not drinking alkaline water. There's so many things. And of course, David Schmidt, my favorite man on the planet, apart from my husband, who is a scientist and inventor, I'm having the most incredible interview with him where he talks about these LifeWave patches that he invented. And we ask some really deep questions, not like where do you put them, how long do you wear them, not, it's very, very deep questions. And he just came back straight away with, yep, that's right. I even talked about sex and I'm thinking, what's he going to do here? Yes, that's right. And I'm like, this is going to be one of the most fabulous days. So set aside the day on Saturday and you get from 6 a.m. Saturday to 10 a.m. Sunday to watch the interviews. However, if you become a Heal VIP, which is an investment all of $29, I know it's not $290, it's $29, then you get to keep Stephanie's interview, everybody's interview for life. Plus, we've got very exciting things happening right now because it's pre-Heal week, and you'll get to keep all of the bonus interviews, the meditations, the alkaline recipes, you name it, we're doing it. And so the idea is that we all can heal together, our body, mind, emotions, soul, in a way that is profound. We're even doing, Stephanie and I sit together in a healing circle every Thursday night.
Yes, we do.
We pray, we meditate, we give each other readings, and we direct this incredible energy that is built up into you, into the people that we know and love. And at Heal, every day, we're actually doing that again. So Daniel and I are sitting, calling in the same energy, and we're expecting miracles. So this is what...
I've known people to feel that energy, and I know that we do create major shifts even in our little intimate group. But what I'm excited about is for Saturday to bring people into the experiential and break some myths and bust some myths, if you will, around angels, right? And the work that I do with angels. Today, I wanted to shift and share a little bit about what I do as a healer, because not everybody thinks of me as a healer and why when
Wow.
we're sitting in council like this, just the two of us,
Mm-hmm.
we're amplifying that frequency. We're amplifying the power of intention whenever two or more are gathered, right? That idea. And so I know that it's Daniel, you and I sitting on Saturday, and I'm really excited for people to experience that vibrational frequency because I know it'll be palpable for them. Today,
Oh
though,
yeah,
I
I
want
was
to say,
almost crying. It was so
I
powerful.
know.
It was like, whoa. And, just watching us now on a quantum level, we're emanating this high frequency energy. The conversation alone, let alone us who we've become in the world, is going to, if you tap into this, it's going to have an effect on you as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And everything works quantumly as we know it. There's no time when we work quantumly. We step out of the time frames, right? So that means that station, I call it a halo, is really held in a 0 point field, essentially, where when you step into that, you're there in real time in that moment, no matter when it's been recorded, past, present, right? So
Exactly.
that's the really beautiful thing. I want to also announce for those of you who haven't heard about my new DNA renewal system, I'm excited to say LifeWave will be coming on board that bus, so to speak, and be part of that. I'm calling them halo patches because I see it as like patching your halo. People work.
I love it. I love it. And
And
can you say what halo means, just in case there's new
yeah,
people?
I'm going to share everyone. Halo for me is a holographic assembled light organization or organism. It's like your bubble. A lot of people call this your bubble of light. I go one step further to acknowledge that that bubble has an intelligence that is interfacing with the entire quantum network of who you are. Every element of who you are in creation is going to always be interfacing with this halo, this instrument. And I see it as a space to hold healing, of course, recalibration of consciousness, beliefs, all of that. But what I find in my work is I'll go in and I'll work with people. We'll do halo circles. We'll get all lit up and everything's blissful and everyone feels great. But then within a few days, possibly something comes in to trigger them. Something comes in to shake them up a little bit. And they get that wobble a little bit in their belief, maybe, or their trust, right? Or their faith frequency, whatever it is. And what I love about these patches, and the reason I say we're patching the halo, is they hold that state longer. And they also do much more than that, based on all the research I've been doing lately with it, Sandra, in terms of working with the light intelligence. That's what I love about them, is they literally are what I do, but in a patch, what you do in a patch in a sense.
Exactly.
And they start to activate stem cells and they start to work on the cardiovascular, which is probably the first line of defense right now for so many, especially those who've been dealing with the virus consciousness. I like to call it the crown of thorns.
Oh, I like the virus
right?
consciousness because that encompasses everything, doesn't
everything.
it? Yeah. And all of the fear around it too.
Everything. So I really truly feel, with my DNA renewal systems, people know I work with supplements that are customized to your DNA. These are going to be kind of like light supplementation. So they're just going to be another level of holistic or haloistic.
What I love about what you're saying, when you listen
I'm
to
excited.
David,
excited to share that.
I was just going to say, when you listen to David, he actually talks about the need for supplementation. And that's why when you're doing the DNA renewal with the supplements and the light frequency consciousness, because this is raising consciousness at the same time as it's working on your cellular structure. And so to put the two together, that would be the perfect combination for your body to become empowered to heal itself.
Yeah. I mean, you're tag teaming. It's like you're like inside, outside, everything. It's like there's no escape, so everything must shift. And I think that's really what we're doing right now. Is there's so much going on, in terms of what we're tackling, in terms of toxicity and the environment and our food. I mean, there's so much, and the DNA is just like, give me a break. I need some support here. So when we work at the telomeres, which is kind of the building blocks of your DNA, and you start to refortify them, rejuvenate them, you age slower, right? Because we're all aging after 25.
Can I tell you something important here?
Yeah.
You don't just fortify them when you're wearing the X39 stem cell patch. They are elongating and they reverse the aging process. So this is breaking a lot of barriers and busting a lot of myths. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, scientists over the last 60 years have all been trying to work out how to activate copper peptide within the bloodstream, because it's the copper peptide that lengthens the telomeres and regenerates the stem cells. And it's a hostile environment for viruses, which is another brilliant thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this man did it. And I said to him, you realize that this is like, I can't make up my mind. This is alien technology. It's divinely downloaded. Like somebody I know said, oh, it's him as this brilliant scientist in another reality, downloading it into him in this reality. I'm going, I don't know where it's from, but I said to him, David, this is divinely downloaded technology. And he looked at me and he said, I used to think I was a good scientist, but now I realize I'm a good listener. And he was saying that, yes, he gets the information. That's how he knows where to go, what to do. And by the way, when to do it. Because isn't it interesting that the stem cell regeneration patches with copper peptide is available on 2019 only. And then the next one, which is about brain and heart health, with everything else that goes with the virus, right? That this next one helps to strengthen the heart, vascular system, brain, everything, and every organ that would be affected by whatever you're calling this. I love what you called it. So it's almost like the timing of the download of it is perfect for humanity as well.
Yeah. Well, I've been noticing my team has also been kind of moving me, who I work with intuitively, my angels are moving me into focusing more on the healing aspect of what I do, because there's need for that. I mean, frankly, more people are having issues. So I find that for me, I do what I do as a healer energetically, as you know, and you've experienced, but then these act as a supplementation protocol for people to do at home when they can't get to me, and when they know that they can be sovereign in that process, because I'm not looking for codependency. I'm looking for, helping people get independent in their life. So I found that this was a really nice adjunct. And the other thing that's interesting, the reason that because I get downloads too, obviously, as you do as well. And what I got was, okay, looking at the X39, X49, because they're a little bit different, right? The X39, they were telling me, is more what I would call like a diamond halo, meaning it's dealing with a multifaceted, multidimensional stem cell, foundational, kind of putting the hardware in of like, okay, this is what's required now for your DNA to adapt to these new changing environments. And then the X49 was more of like a DNA defense. It's like, that's actually going in, because this is something I found fascinating about David's investigation into this patch, was how it's working with mitigating or creating almost like a Faraday cage out of ourselves, so we can mitigate some of the potential 5D or EMF threats that we get from our computers, our screens, everything coming in electrically, right? So that was fascinating to me, because what people don't know is viruses will shorten your telomeres. EMF and 5G will shorten your telomeres, in my opinion, and I can only say this from an intuitive standpoint. And so both of these combined are going to be excellent to keep people adaptive in the new environment we're finding ourselves in. Frankly.
Yeah, and just imagine with this new one, X49 activates testosterone in men and women, like to keep us stronger. It activates bone density. It's so important for women, especially. And it's working on muscle strength, weight loss, and muscle mass. In other words, it's saying you've got to move. When you move, you're going to be, you need the strength to move. You need to be able to heal in order to move. The bodies were designed to move. They weren't designed to be stagnant. And the bodies were designed to hold a consciousness. You said something so incredible during this interview that I know that everybody watching this can hardly wait to see on Saturday. But you said something like, consciousness is like a map. And whatever we believe, the consciousness is like a map of the body.
The body is the map of our consciousness, right?
That's right.
So whatever we're believing and feeling, and all these energetics in the halo, as I call it, this holographic assembly, that eventually projects into the physical. And it anchors in the physical and will show up physically, because we haven't dealt with it energetically. So it's absolutely imperative we kind of look at all of these facets of us, because we're multidimensional, whether we like to see ourselves as that or not, or know that yet. Some of us, I know this, right? And
Well,
so,
we both know it because we experience it.
yeah,
You know, when you experience your past lives, when you experience other realities, then there's no denying it. Even if you wanted to, it's like, can't lie to yourself, right?
Well, that's the thing. I think for me, I was the biggest skeptic, and I still have healthy skepticism about things. I still investigate things. I don't just jump on board. I mean, you brought this to me quite a while ago, and I kind of watched and waited to see how this was going to work for you. And, I always kind of assess certain things that might be what other people might perceive as like quackery, let's call it, right? And I want to make sure, because for me to bring it into my groups and my tribe, I'm always making sure, like, is this the real deal, or is this some other thing that people want to try to make us convince us? But what I do know is with David, not only is his integrity, you can feel that from him, but and his heart, but there's patents. He has like 130 patents, I think he said last
Exactly.
So
and
it's proven.
80 clinical studies. Like, this man is so committed to this that he said he will never stop doing scientific double blind gold studies to make sure that everything he says this patch can do has been tested for it to do. And if you ask a question and say, oh, can it do this or this? If he hasn't tested for it, his answer is, well, we haven't tested for that.
Yeah.
Even if people are going, whoa, I just healed from cancer, or I just did this, or I just did that. If he hasn't tested for it, he's not going to say it doesn't. Plus, remember, this man has such integrity, as you do, Steph. That's why you've taken your time. Hello, beautiful one.
She wanted to say hi.
And that is that, what was I going to say? I got waylaid by the gorgeous white thing. I thought it was on my lap, not yours.
It was that, or keep her digging in the corner and making noise. So we'll hold her. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, for me, it's like he's committed to humanity. It's like, okay, some people are just earth angels. He's one of them. Mm-hmm. He's bringing out new things to clean up waters in the oceans, to do vertical farming. I mean, this man is like, he never stops.
He's a powerhouse.
Help. Yeah. He's here as an emissary for sure.
Yeah.
And, with the patches, I was very skeptical, and honestly, I needed to have, I have just needed to have miracles all my life. I know if I don't have a miracle, I don't want to share it. I'm a bit like you. We need to be with our people with such total integrity. And for me, 2 years ago, I had such massive back pain. I finally had an MRI that showed my bottom 3 discs were completely degenerated. And I panicked because I thought, okay, I'm going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And I asked them to put stem cells in, and they said, no, we can't. There's not enough to regenerate. And I spoke to Therese Santos, the wonderful woman who introduced me to these patches, and I told her what was going on. And I was so lucky that David was doing a one-off pain management afternoon. And I went to it, and she called me over, and she patched me on the bottom of my feet, on my wrists, under my belly button, on the back of my neck. And I'm going, whoa. And you know what? Within half an hour, and I was sitting on a really hard wooden chair, I had tears running down my face, this time not from pain, but from joy. Mm-hmm. Daniel looked at me and said, what's going on? I said, I'm completely pain-free. And do you know, I have not had that pain since in the last 2 years. Wow. And it was like, this is a miracle. I managed to speak to him afterwards, and I said, hey, I've seen the MRI. I know exactly what's happening inside my body. And he smiled at me and he said, yes, and now your body is regenerating. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh, thank you, God. And that's the reason why you've heard me rave about them for so long, apart from the fact that I'm about to turn 69 and my skin has never been thicker and more luminous, and, all these wonderful things are happening. I like reverse aging, by the way.
Yeah. I think it's really exciting. I've seen some before and after pictures of people, and it's incredible. So I'm really excited because for me in my work, there's a certain process I do where I tune in and I pull numbers in to harmonize. So I work on the halos specifically to harmonize people in session. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to be doing now in DNA Renewal is figuring out which sessions are going to be most beneficial for people, doing a combination, like I said, of the halo patches, as I like to call them, and like I said, DNA reports that I can get done for them for specific supplements. But what I'm going to also look at is what those reports tell me. Then we can determine which patches are going to be most effective as well, potentially for their regeneration. Though I do know X39 is kind of that diamond halo effect, right? It kind of just gives you.
Oh, I love that diamond
going on, it's going to
halo
start
effect.
working, right? Because it works on the stem cells, so it's really beautiful. And I'm excited to get that going. And I know I'm going to be doing some special bundles for those who register for Heal. There'll be a special link that they get for registering, so you guys can definitely register for Heal. And find out more about the DNA Renewal Systems inside that page that you'll be getting. And that'll be exciting too. I'm really excited to get I'm going to be giving away a free discovery session with me for this. And yeah, I think that'll be a great value for
That's
them.
exciting. Yeah. And next Tuesday, in a week from now, we're actually doing as a Heal after party, because so many people are going, hang on, I want this. I want what they're having, right? So we're doing a free webinar where we're introducing people to them, answering questions. I mean, this is really an exciting time for all of us. We need to say yes to ourselves. We need to say yes to our own healing, to become pain-free, get younger, stronger, happier, and healthier. And apart from the work that both Steph and I do, this is bioavailable light energy healing on steroids. And to think there's no drugs and no chemicals and nothing goes into the body. So I've had so many people say to me, oh, but can you use them if you're on chemo, or can you use them if you're taking these drugs? And the answer is you can use them all of the time. And the majority of people who start using them eventually wean themselves off all their drugs. So this is a very exciting technology that is truly alien, divinely brought onto the planet.
Or angelically, divinely, right?
Angelic, of course, angelic.
And I want to share also, by the way, everybody, and you'll learn this on my call, but I'm going to be giving away a few of my new terahertz bracelets. These are the rainbow titanium plated, 8mm 10, depending on which size you want, female or male usually, but and these are really great for EMF mitigation, blood circulation. They keep the energy frequency going, so they can amplify potentially your halo patches, which is nice. So they kind of go together. So yeah, we'll be giving away a few of those. I think, Sandra, you probably know better than I do.
For anybody who's a Heal VIP, like if you invest the $29, you become a Heal VIP, and the Heal VIPs get all of the speaker gifts for free. And there's thousands of dollars, and then you go into the drawing to win $8,500 worth of prizes. And those, thank you so much for being a sponsor of Heal Sweetheart, because those prizes are some of the ones you can win. And it's up to you. You want to go full out, you go in there, you comment, you introduce yourself, you watch the videos and, tell us your aha moments, share it with everyone you know. The more people you share it with, the more points you get. So at the end of Heal on next Tuesday, after the after party, I'm going to be announcing all of the prize winners. And we've done this before, and it's so good. And what I love about this is people who think, oh, no, I'm not going to share this, or I'm not going to engage. I'll just be on the peripheral. When they realize that there's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gifts to be won, they decide to give it some energy. And guess what happens when you decide to give it some energy? You get the energy back. Exactly. Yeah. The whole thing is amplified. It's all involuting and evoluting, and it's all doing what it's meant to do for you. In other words, your body, mind, and emotional bodies get so much more out of it. So, and Heal is one of those things where you can become involved and have a lot of fun.
Yeah. I know that, for those of you who, if you do want to get a bracelet and you're like, I missed it, it's okay. You can go to shopcelestials.com and you'll find it there, along with a lot of products that I create that I call self-devotion essentials, which this is one of them. This is my sovereignty mug. But
I love the look.
Yeah, right. So,
I love it. How many of you don't want anything that this woman does? I mean, truly, I want everything she's got. Because even the name, you know, the names that you come up with, names have a lot of power.
Yeah.
And a lot of frequency, and the names that you choose alone, which I know are downloaded, they have the power of the product as well. Like even calling these halo patches, I'm going, I would never have thought to do it. But the fact is, when you call them that, you're calling out what they are. And yeah, I'm excited to be working with you.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
frequencies of names are really important. It's part of the teachings that I do, and Halo has a very specific intelligence based on the consciousness that's connected to it. So that's part of the reason I'm calling them that very intentionally, because of the fact that that way that vibration is in there, you know. And I think for me, it just makes sense because I'm gonna have a whole thing, patch your halo, you know, and like you have patch me up, babe, right? It's like we have these ideas that go into the consciousness so people can remember things easier. Sometimes X39s or they get confused, like which one's which. Exactly. I wanted to kind of make something where they're like, oh yeah, that's the halo patches, and make it easy for them to remember. So and then once they get on the patch, guess what? Their memory is going to start getting better.
You know, the clinical studies have shown that within 7 weeks of wearing X39, that the brain has already is already in a better state. It's already remembering more. It's already changed just after 7 weeks. And I've got some testimonials of a man whose 94-year-old father was Alzheimer's complete. The doctor said, put him in a home to die. And he just went, no. He changed his diet completely and he put him on X39. And 12 months later, his 95-year-old father had a better memory and mind than what he had before he got Alzheimer's. So, you know, everything is possible when you find the right modalities. And if you think about what Steph and I are committed to, both of us have come to this planet to help end suffering. And, you know, I do it by neutralizing and deleting emotional trauma out of the unconscious. You do it your way, which is similar, kind of on a different level. And then when you put that together with the DNA Renewal System and you put it together with the patches, you've actually got this triangle. And as you guys know, anything that is a triangle pyramid, it's the strongest that you can have. So when you've got these modalities and there are 3 of them that you're using within your body, like getting the mindset right, the unconscious right, getting everything done like this, there's nothing that can stop you from being happy, healthy, and stronger and younger for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see. I know I have people enrolled in DNA Renewal and that science alone, and then now to add the patches in, it's just going to amplify everything they're doing, and it's going to be really great to see the results, because I do feel one of the things I do want to talk about, the puppy that was here a minute ago, Shanti, she's losing her hearing and has been, and so I'm going to do a little experiment with her, patch my puppy. I'm going to put these patches on her and see how that hearing comes back, because I know that there was a testimonial I shared in my group that you had shared with me that is basically there was a dog who was blind, I think, in 3 days on X39, the blindness either completely reversed or something. Do you remember?
There was a little dog in Hawaii who all he ever did was sleep, because every time he got up, he bashed into a wall. And I think I think he was scared. And so they started patching him up with the X39 stem cell patch. And 3 days later, he's literally prancing around the house because he can see. Now, I don't know how much he could see, but he could certainly see enough to no longer be in fear of hurting himself and bashing into a wall. So that's how quick that they can work. And with Shanti, I would, put it on the head or behind her ear, whichever way you go.
Yeah, but I'll probably put it on her head like a little halo. It'll be cute.
Yeah, put it on the top of her head. Yeah. I've got a friend of mine who has 2 fabulous dogs, and every time they go to the vet, they go into the most shocking state, like they shake. And now she puts the X39 patches on the top of their head, and it's kind of, she watches them and they just go, ah. And she said it's so incredible to see the animals completely change from their reaction. And then actually, you know what it was? It wasn't X39, it was the Eon patch, AEON. And that's the patch that deletes emotional trauma and inflammation. So obviously this was an emotionally traumatic event for the dogs. And when the patch went on their head, they're just like, almost going to sleep. They're so relaxed.
I want to so everybody, just so you guys have an idea, this is what they look like, X39s in a little packet, right? So people don't think this is a huge thing, because sometimes people have it in their minds, like, oh, what kind of patches? We're talking about, this is the size.
Yeah.
It's like a quarter.
It's just
so
this,
small.
right?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't put it there today. Oh, sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to reveal my.
Like, you can stick it here, like for thyroid or thymus, immune system, right?
Exactly.
Stick it on the back of the neck. There's different spots they'll tell you to put it. But I think what's interesting about our animals, and I know they have patches even for horses that are incredible.
Oh, yeah.
But any of the patches you can use on your animals. And what I know when I tuned in and asked was, they don't have the consciousness to get in the way. So it works even faster on animals in a sense, because they're not like in their belief systems of, this isn't going to work, I don't know, they're out of the way.
They're not, their ego mind and their unconscious isn't doing a number on them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm excited for people to know about this. And again, you can go to DNArenewal.com if you want to learn more about my DNA renewal system in general. And again, I will have specials running through Heal, exclusive VIP Heal members, and those who are able to tune in on the live will get my special link on Saturday, which I'm excited to present. Is there anything else we can let these lovely beings know before we sign off today?
I just think from the both of us, I would say to you, say yes to yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Say yes to your own self-healing. Say yes to empowering yourself to learn things that you would not have learned if you weren't a part of Heal. Daniel and I have brought together speakers who are bringing to the world something that they are busting myths and breaking barriers. So it's not going to be the same old that you hear. And for that reason, I'd love to encourage you to, ask your friends, your family, have a watch party for the day, bring your snacks and lunch together. The great thing is that if you miss an interview, it doesn't matter. It'll be up on the page. You can go back to it. This is just one of those things where we've laughed and cried. We've been inspired. We've been transformed. It's like caught our breath because of the divine love that's flowed through your body. If you're ready for all of that and more, you need to enroll in Heal, either free or as a Heal VIP. Either way, please say yes to yourself, because I know you're picking this up too, Stephanie. Your soul has already said yes. Yeah. It's just up to you to follow through.
Yeah. And everybody, you'll find the links for the event in the description of these videos. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching, I will be posting in the comments and under the description links if they're not there already. And Sandra, I just want to say thank you for being here. For those of you who this is your first time experiencing my friend Sandra, she was part of my Angelic Summit in 2020, right before COVID hit, in fact. And she's been a really beautiful friend of mine for quite a few years now. And I just really encourage you to learn more about her at thebiskins.com. Is that the best link?
Exactly, thebiskins.com. Exactly.
And we'll put that link in the comments too shortly here. I just want to say, Sandra, thank you for taking this time out of your day today with me. I'm so grateful.
Thank you, sweetheart. Well, when you have a soul sister, you just say yes, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for saying yes to being part of Heal, darling. I love you.
I love you too. And for whoever's watching, just know that, if someone's introducing you to LifeWave, which is the patches we're mentioning, make sure if they're the ones that put in the time, the energy, like myself, if you know me or if you know Sandra, just go to the appropriate person who you resonate with, who introduced you, because law of reciprocity is always in effect. And so I want to always honor those who are doing their work and doing their time to bring these things forward. So I know some of you know both of us. So whichever one resonates with you is beautiful. We love you. We thank you. And definitely know that I'm here to support you in any way, as Sandra is as well. If you need anything, that's what we're here for. Okay. We're going to help people suffering, as you said. So thank you again. Love you all. Love you, Sandra.
And God bless everyone.
All of you soon. Big hugs from the Hug Angel. Mwah. Bye for now. Bye-bye.